Hi everybody, welcome to the session. I have Deepa ma'am with me again. Ma'am is an Associate Dean for the admissions at Welingkar. And ma'am will be briefing us about the admission 2.0, which I am calling it as because Welingkar के forms अभी वापस open होने वाले हैं. And a lot of people are actually happy, ma'am, कि चलो हो गए हैं. Yeah, definitely. And a lot of students are happy कि ठीक है, it's another chance for us to apply for Welingkar. So, ma'am will brief us about the entire process, and ma'am, most welcome to the session again. We would love to hear from you कि ये process जो अभी है admissions का, ये कैसे आगे होगा, इसके requirements क्या हैं, and entire process का calendar कैसे होगा.
So, thank you, Ketan, for having me over again. And like I said, the application process for phase 2 has opened up already. So they can go to the website and it's right there. So there's no change in the selection process, except now the students know their percentile. So they can, kind of apply using that. The criteria is going to be the same with regards to the cutoff, and also the, the breakup of the weightages for the different parameters that's going to remain the same. All that doesn't really change. In the first phase, we had called students based on cutoff percentile wherever they already knew, and others we had called on the basis of their academic profile as such. Okay. So some students did not get shortlisted at that time. So if now they have a CMAT percentile when it formally gets announced, they can get shortlisted. We'll revisit all the not shortlisted candidates, and if they put up their CMAT percentile or any other percentile which falls in the cutoff range, they will get shortlisted for the interview process.
Perfect. And if I'm not wrong, from CMAT, the cutoff for Welingkar Mumbai is 85.
Yeah.
And for Welingkar Bangalore, it's 80%.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. So ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah, so that I think that was one of your questions, and so there's going to be no difference in the process. And how is the flow going to be? Like students may already know that we've begun our interviews from today, and quite a few students have already completed their interviews. So we are setting up the interviews on Friday, Saturday, Sundays because it's convenient to a lot of working professionals as well as people who are giving some other exams in their graduation, etc. So that's why we usually keep it on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And the students who get shortlisted in phase 2, their flow will also be in that same process. So this weekend there are interviews. There are interviews on the following weekend. And we'll fit them in wherever the slots are available. Otherwise, it will be in the weekend after that.
Okay, perfect. So, ma'am, in the phase 2 thing, right? As you said that the percentiles are out now. The students know, yeah, I got 85, I'm eligible for Welingkar Mumbai, or I got 80-81, I'm eligible for Welingkar Bangalore.
Yeah.
So यहाँ पे जो shortlist होगा वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ percentile के basis पे होगा या फिर जो नए बच्चे भी apply करेंगे Welingkar को क्या उनका भी academic profile cut off ये सब?
No, the shortlisting for the interview will now happen strictly on percentile. And of course, they have to have basic eligibility of 50% in their graduation.
True. So basically, हम ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि phase 1 जो था वो academics and profile पे था, और phase 2 जो है वो पूरा आपका percentile पे रहेगा.
That was done primarily because the CMAT delayed its result. I mean the whole process. So we wanted to at least let the student know that you seemed like a good candidate, and if you make the cutoff, then you stand a chance in the merit list. As simple as that.
Okay, fair enough. And ma'am, is there any expected date by which Welingkar will come up with the results? Because a lot of students are asking.
So I'm presuming that the CMAT results should be out soon. The moment that happens, I think, let's say the first week of May, we will be surely conducting interviews for the students who are applying in phase 2.
Okay.
And it usually takes it's okay for an entrance exam to put out the scores because it's just pure what you call ABCD options. So it's system driven. For a complete result to happen, it's a collation of everything put together. So it takes its time collating it and looking at the various preferences that the students have to give the best possible choice that the students may have picked basis their merit. So I think somewhere at the end of May, one can look at the results happening. Yeah.
Okay. That's the only reason that I thought of asking you this question, because a lot of colleges have come up with their own results, and we interact with students on a daily basis, and if we see that there are a lot of students, they have this preference to be given to the Welingkar, specifically PGDM core हो गया, e-business हो गया, business design हो गया, फिर Welingkar Bangalore campus हो गया. They are waiting, what, अगर एक बारी हमें वो पता चलेगा, so we can kind of manage.
If they are waiting, I think they have good taste.
I'm sorry?
If they are waiting, I think they have good taste and they have done their homework well.
Fabulous. I think that answers
it. They have done their homework well. They know that both ROI today as well as from the futuristic point of view, the WeSchool brand will certainly take them.
Right. Ma'am, this is another question that a lot of kids do ask, that they have WorkX, which is around about 2 years and 3 years of WorkX. So if such kind of students are joining WeSchool, what sort of opportunities are given to these guys? Like in with respect to lateral, or with respect to any specific profile, or what is it for these sort of students?
So see, these are for 2 and 3 years, honestly, it all depends on the type of work that they have done and whether there is a value add to that in the kind of roles that they're looking for. So let's say if somebody is an engineer and has done work in the IT sector and ends up taking up a research and business analytics course. So if the experience of the candidate, kind of adds some value to the profile that the company is looking for, only then do they look at lateral positions. Otherwise, they are going to be, they're going to be placing you at a good level where, your path is going to be different from the others as such. So I would say if you have work experience and if it's in a relevant space, end of the day, look at it as a recruiter. If you're going to recruit somebody who has 2-3 years of experience, possibly doing coding, and now is wanting to do business analytics, has done that and gained some experience in that space. When you take a person like that, you would want to, provide some additional benefit, and that usually is in the form of differentiation in package.
Yeah. Perfect. So even if the WorkX, even for WorkX students,
it has to be relevant, Ketan. It has to be relevant.
Understood. Ma'am, one last question from my side. When it comes to the placement, when it comes to the average package, and sort of, students are always scared that, okay, I'm putting in X amount of money, let's say, 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs, what I should be looking at the end of 2 years, getting it from Welingkar Institute, right? So, ma'am, do you want to put some light on that front?
Yeah, of course. If you're a student, you're going to look at where you're going to end up. The good thing about Welingkar is because it has a large number of programs in different spaces, whether it's e-business, rural, media, retail, healthcare, analytics. What this does is, by default, then we are reaching out to so many sectors. And therefore, if we are not, looking at only one particular sector like banking or FMCG or consulting, but you're looking at so many sectors, and a lot of these sectors are growing sectors.
Yes.
When these come to campus, while they're looking at certain profiles, they also have certain open profiles where they are willing to look at applications from across programs. So that makes, that just improves the size of the number of opportunities that a student gets. Number one. Sometimes students, they're wondering, oh, it's like a big batch. And I'm saying this both for Bangalore and for Mumbai. Will I get an opportunity? So opportunities have got, two variables to it. One is, what are you ready to put up and do? So I can promise you that Welingkar will get you the opportunities. You have to use these 2 years to make sure that, you put up your A game over there. So if you look at the average package for Welingkar across programs, it will touch somewhere around 10 lakhs or so. Now, an average, when you say, or a median for Welingkar Mumbai is the 360th candidate. So, and if you look at certain other business schools, that is the size of their whole intake.
Exactly.
So somebody else's median would be somewhere around, let's say, 120 or 240 or something like that. If you look at that for Welingkar, that package for the 240th or the 120th candidate will easily go to 11, 13 lakhs or so.
Exactly.
So the point is that I think if a business school can average out at 11 lakhs with an intake of 720, that's big.
Exactly, ma'am.
That's a big opportunity. Exactly. And then it doesn't, after the average, it doesn't really slide down to some abysmal figures. That's pretty decent too. But certainly it is also, based on some of the sectors and how they choose to pay. And of course, how good or not great the candidate turns out at the end of the 2 years.
No,
so, yeah, advantage, you have large number of sectors. Advantage, you have good competition inside the business school. So you don't have to wait till the last day to experience that fire. And number 3, I think if we have the brand pool to get an average of 11 at 720 plus Bangalore, another 240, I think that's
commendable. That's commendable. Absolutely. Ma'am, just want to add over here for the fact you gave the number, which is 720. Now, from my perspective, being a mentor, for so many years, I want to put this across in a very straightforward way. There are other B schools also in the country with the same number or even lesser number. Let's say 500 ka number, 750 or 800 ka number. Ma'am, unka average package is around about 4-5 lakh. But for the fact Welingkar is touching 10 or kind of 10 plus, that is purely because of the kind of a branding and the kind of a goodwill Welingkar has in the market.
Yeah.
There's a student quality.
Yeah. I think our focus has always been, Ketan, 2 things. One is how can we serve the industry better?
True.
And all the new developments in the industry better. So if you look at our healthcare batch, for example, or the RBA batch, they were like placed, I think, the shortest time period that I know.
Nice.
Okay. So you have to, as a B school, we are perceptive of what industry is looking for. And the other thing is, how can we give students new opportunities? So even when you're looking at marketing and the digital space is growing, how can we prepare them better in that space? How can we give them internships or opportunities to learn that better? And a whole lot of organizations are also looking at specific skills. So we have specific processes like the assessment and development process, where there are internal mentors allotted to students and we are grooming them apart from the classroom. So there's a lot of science and art to grooming the students, and we're trying to do our best in that space.
Perfect. No, this is something I know because it's been so many years. Welingkar students are there from Shidusha also. हमें feedback दिया जाता है कि हाँ, personal mentorship जहाँ पे सवाल आता है ना कि एक mentor और mentee का जो connection है, that's very good as far as Welingkar is concerned. So I think that's the add-on. Now on the other hand, ना ma'am, what happens when a student looks at a B school ना? I think मेरे ख्याल से हमारे टाइम पे भी हम ना मैम वो एवरेज नंबर देखते थे. हाँ, तो बच्चों को ये जानना अभी जरूरी है. Guys, for the fact there are so many institutes and such a huge competition, आपको ये देखना जरूरी है कि जब मैं एवरेज बात करता हूँ ना, आप देखो डिनोमिनेटर में क्या आ रहा है. डिनोमिनेटर इज नथिंग बट द नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स. तो अगर कोई बी स्कूल 60 बच्चों को रख के बोलता है कि मेरा 15 लाख का एवरेज है, और कोई अगर 750 पे बोलता है मेरा 10 लाख का एवरेज है, then you can understand which college is genuinely doing good. मेरे ख्याल से ये थोड़ा सा ना बच्चों को खुद को, I mean, we try our level best to empower you guys from our end. जरूरी है जानना. तो I think that's where Welingkar is doing a good job.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. That's right. Thank you for bringing that point in.
No, ma'am, indeed. Because, ma'am, this is the reality that because I had been to Bangalore campus also, I've seen Mumbai campus also, I've seen the student quality also. So definitely, I would second on that front. So cool. That's definitely answers the question. And ma'am,
one last thing is, like I said, recently the 2019-21 batch, which was first year in campus and second year from home. They graduated, as in we completed their convocation ceremony on the 19th of April. So I was just looking at the posts that they were all putting up. I mean, we haven't given them any dictum to put up those posts. They are overjoyous and they're putting up a lot of those posts. And they're actually talking about the journey that they've had at WeSchool and where they are. You can actually go to LinkedIn and see where they're working. But what I found most striking about most of their posts is they have mentioned the names of a lot of people who have contributed in their growth. And that, I think, speaks a lot for the brand, because when a student gets connected to, various people in the institute, okay, or the opportunities, whether it's their batchmates, whether it's certain faculty members, whatever it is, I think that is real brand power.
True, man. No, that is something definitely, something that people should understand. And I mean, it's like because those are कैसे चले जाते हैं ना बिल्कुल में पता नहीं चलता.
True, very true.
And it's all about peer group, and I mean that's the agenda has always been like your peer group is they'll always help you to kind of build your. But I think faculty का भी एक reason होता है मेरे ख्याल से. But मेरे ख्याल से इतना faculty के बारे में बोला नहीं जाता है जितना बोलना चाहिए मेरे ख्याल से.
No, that's okay. You I always say you cannot light a fire in on wet wood. So वो wood में भी जलने की ताकत होनी चाहिए तब वो fire कुछ काम कर पाता है. So it's a two-way process.
That's a nice line, by the way. I'll keep that. Cool, ma'am. Last question for you, ma'am. But तीसरी बार बोल रहा हूँ. I'm sorry for that, because there are a lot of questions, by the way. Ma'am, is there any difference between placement की Welingkar Mumbai चलना है या Bangalore चलना है? Because लोगों का perception है Bangalore में बहुत ज़्यादा IT jobs मिलेंगे. Welingkar Mumbai में शायद से उतना chance नहीं मिलेगा business analytics के लिए या फिर finance वगैरह के लिए. So, do you want to give any kind of explanation?
No, so analytics and we have the biggest batch, 122-year full time. And they are all placed super ho gaya unka, the previous batch, they are all placed. Bangalore, we just started with RBA with a 30 intake. And yes, I mean, Bombay is the finance capital of the country and Bangalore is the IT capital. So of course, in that type of companies, there is a skew, but at the same time, the opportunities are not skewed because if it is a large IT firm, they have offices all over the country. And if it is a large finance firm, they have opportunities in different parts of the country. And the best part is Welingkar has all students from all over the country. So it really doesn't matter. And yes, Welingkar Mumbai and Welingkar Bangalore both have their independent placement offices with efforts. But of course, there is a synergy. If there is an organization which is looking at something where we want to pitch both together, of course that can happen. There's no but both are equally independent and can address corporates and get all types of corporates.
Perfect. So guys, Welingkar Bombay ho ya fir Welingkar Bangalore ho, it doesn't really discriminate as far as the placements are concerned. You can do any both the कोई भी campus आपको मिलता है. I think you should opt for it because ultimately it's Welingkar.
Yeah.
Cool, ma'am. Anything else you want to add on from your side for the students who are gunning for personal interview now? Anything?
Like I said, give it your best shot. Don't treat it like just okay, I have to finish this or finish that. Every interview should be like you're wanting to crack the interview. Once you crack it and you have the options, then you always have the options in hand to choose from. I also know quite a few students have been sharing this with us that they have offers from other business schools and they're waiting for the Welingkar result and they are in a dilemma situation. At least I can tell you from Welingkar's perspective that the AICT has given certain cutoff dates up to which a student can take a decision and the institute has to respect that. And, we cannot hold your fees or certificates or anything of that sort. And Welingkar has always followed that because eventually it is, we have to respect the time given by the institutions of the country. And, you have the right to make that choice. So, if you have a couple of offers on hand and you have time in hand, then please do a good interview. Don't do it for the heck of it. Take the offers and then make that choice. True. Let the choice be with you. True. So for that, you have to give your best.
Great. Ma'am, thank you so much for turning up again. And guys, I just want to make one sort of a thing from my side. It's a sort of from a personal thing that ma'am ka schedule बहुत busy होता है. She's not always ready for these kind of interviews. But I have been seeing ma'am. She's always there, helping students. हमारे टाइम पे हमें ये भी नहीं पता होता था कि डायरेक्टर दिखते कैसे हैं, क्या फैकल्टी पूल होता है. But ma'am takes efforts and she's there on the social media. They're trying to connect to students so that they understand the college क्या expect करता है, right?
Yes.
I think ma'am, that is something I really want to appreciate the way you guys are working hard on it. At least बच्चों को पता चलता है कि हाँ ये कॉलेज में जाना चाहता हूँ, इसका preparation मैं कैसे करूँगा, ये कॉलेज क्या actually चाहता है मुझसे. I think that adds a lot of value to बच्चों का preparation, which not many B schools are doing, but I really appreciate you guys doing that.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of my faculty colleagues from different programs have also spoken on different platforms.
Right.
So students know what these different courses are. These interviews are there on YouTube and they should go and watch them.
Perfect. Ma'am, thank you so very much for joining us today. And, I look forward to you, meet up to you soon, maybe in the campus.
Sure.
Or online.
Sure. Yes, on the campus would be a great thing. Thank you, Ketan, for having me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks.
Bye.